there are 4 hidden characters within the FNAF Freddy Security Breach Ruin DLC. And these characters are very obscure. However, they may hint at what is to come next in FNAF Freddy's, or what is to come before everything in FNAF Freddy's. So hear me out. By now, some of you may know that there is a secret ending to this game, where if you activate 4 hidden cameras throughout the entirety of the Ruin play session, that you can then unlock these 4 doors at the end of the final chase. And if these 4 doors are unlocked, you can run on through, or if you're like me, you just glitch through the wall and you fly on through, and you'll end up in the scooping room. Now for me, I was a bit confused because I had this mimic entity, this very tall lad chasing me, and because I glitched through all of this, I didn't expect what I was going to see. And that was a new animatronic, or a new mascot, running into the room as the fog is filling up the room, and they totally just get scooped. Now, I had seen this model before in this very strange stacked conglomerate out of bounds, where all the assets for this final scene are stored. You can see some incredible T-posing action in this giant pile of bodies and metal. And we can see the skin of this final animatronic is indeed over here. Now, all of these are called upon once the cutscenes start, and they're just stored over here for loading purposes. But in the scooping ending, typically if you do things correctly, you will see the actual mascot jump down instead of the normal mimic that we face off with. And that's very important because what you don't see in that instance is the room we're going through, that pitch black room where we first encounter what we believe is Gregory and turns out not to be him. In that room, there are other mascots as well. It is just so dark, you cannot see them. And if we add lights and we go back into this room, you're gonna see some pretty terrifying stuff. And like, just looking at these, they are very eerie. So let's talk about this elephant. Dear God, this thing is terrifying. So in the files, this is called Mascot 1. And as you probably guessed by now, there are multiple mascots. And just looking at this, you can tell this looks extremely old. Not only are we way beneath the Pizzaplex and the ruins of the FNAF 6 location, we're way below that as well. We are so far underground, and we find these disgusting, tattered, dirty mascot suits just sitting here in the darkness. And what I find interesting is that, well, if we look at their clothes, we can tell there's not really an endo inside there. These are just suits that a person would put on. So these are potentially, for your theory crafters out there, before anything took place. Perhaps when these suits were made originally, they did not have actual animatronic technology. Now, of course, this is coming from the perspective of someone who has not read any of the books for a very long time. I only read some of the originals. So I do know there is a mimic entity, which is what we face off with here, or is assumed what we face off with at the end of the game. And this mimic entity, even in the new books, does go into different mascot suits and things like that. It takes the appearance of other things. So these suits down here make sense. So we have this elephant, but beyond this elephant, we also have another one that's sitting nearby called Mascot 3. And this one is a bird that has some glasses. Now this bird is sitting on the opposite side of the doorway to our left, and it is also obscured completely by darkness. And just taking a look at those glasses, like those old librarian glasses, I get the sense that this aesthetic of these mascots is from a long time ago. Now we have these 2 in this room. However, if we look around this room, we will also see that there are places for others. Now here's the kicker. The one mascot is missing, and we cannot see it here. And the one we encounter at the end of the game is also not this mascot. It's a hodgepodge of all the mascots. So we're missing what is called Mascot 2, which is like this weird lion looking thing. I can't tell exactly what it is. I'm pretty sure it's a lion, but don't quote me on that. He's definitely got some really cool hair, not gonna lie. We can infer that this mascot was once in this room. And the one we see at the end of the game is called Mascot 4. Now this mascot has the boot of the elephant. It has the foot of the bird. It has the tiger claw. We can see a metal hand. An actual endoskeleton is now inside this suit. And we can see beyond the shirt that we can also see the metal torso. This character also has something stitched to the side of their head. Combined, it really gives off the vibes of like a Butcher Gang member from Bendy and the Ink Machine or Bendy and the Dark Revival. It has like a twisted, cartoonish look to it. Now, there's probably still a lot of secrets that we have to find in this game, and that'll help connect the dots because as it stands right now, this amalgamation of these characters just sort of appears without any context. So there's potentially more for us to uncover. However, there's also one thing that is an outlier in all of this that is truly, honestly terrifying. And this entity is known just as the DLC Rabbit. And holy crap, this thing is nightmare fuel. It looks like a purple demonic skeleton rabbit. It has humanoid features, and it looks like it just crawled out of a nightmare. Now, I have no idea if this is actually in the game. It is just inside the game files if you were to look through the models and the assets packaged within the Ruin DLC. And so far, I have not encountered this in the game myself, but it really makes you wonder what is coming next with FNAF. I know this DLC just came out, but dang, we have a lot to look forward to. But anyways, let me know your thoughts, theories, and speculation down in the comments. Subscribe for more game-breaking content here on HorrorScoped, and I will see all of you very, very soon in my next video. Thanks for watching, and cheers!